Hi guys, welcome back to Less of Life. My name is Mandy and we're here in the first week of February 2022. It is our first video of the new year, and the reason for that is we have been incredibly busy, a good kind of busy. So stay with us until the end of the video and we'll share with you some exciting news that we have for all of our viewers. In the meantime, we're going to talk today about what it's like to live in an RV full-time during the winter in below freezing temperatures. So stick with us. So let's briefly recap where we're at and what led us to where we are today. So in June of 2021, we moved our little family from southern New Jersey out to eastern West Virginia. And we've been living here in a camper full-time in a fifth wheel, myself, my husband, and our 8-year-old daughter, since June of 2021. So we're at 7 months now. And as you know, in the mountains of West Virginia, it gets quite cold in the winter. So we've seen temperatures as low as 0 degrees. And with some of the wind chills overnight, we've actually been below that. But we wanted to share with you guys some of the tips and hacks of how we're making it through this bitterly cold winter. So the first thing that we did to make sure that we were prepared for this winter was we put tarps around the bottom of our camper. So they do sell online these really heavy canvas tarps that you can drape around the bottom of your camper. And they were just way out of our budget, to be completely honest. So we looked up some different DIYs and tried to gather some ideas. And what we wound up doing was just getting heavy duty tarps and adding it to the whole bottom of the main camper area. We did not tarp underneath of where our bedroom is, where the big bump out is, just for purposes of ease of getting to where our propane tanks are and things of that nature. But you can definitely feel a pretty big difference on the area where the camper has the tarps and the area that doesn't. So we've been quite warm, and you can tell that that has blocked the breeze from coming through. And it's also allowed some of the warmth to kind of be trapped underneath there. So we can definitely tell a big difference in helping us keep the inside of the camper warm. So in addition to having the tarps, we also find that it's super important to have 2 sources of heat. So our main source of heat actually that we are using are electric plug-in baseboard heaters. So they range in price. We've gotten, one of ours was around $70 and the other one was $120. To be honest, they work just the same. One is just more of a higher name brand, but they work great. We put one in our shed and we put one in our camper. And that one baseboard heater in our camper has been enough for most of the temperatures we've had this winter to heat it with very little kicking on of our propane heater in our camper. So that's where we would say our propane heater is actually our supplemental heat. So if we were to lose electric or, it not quite be enough to handle the really cold temperatures, then the propane will kick on to supplement and keep us plenty warm. With the prices of propane right now, we weighed our options, and the electric was just about as expensive as running propane all the time. But the difference is that we don't have to keep running to town to refill the propane. So that's why we decided to go with the electric heater more often, to use the propane as our supplementary. And it's worked out really well for us. There has not been a time where we've really felt cold in our setup. So that's really fantastic. Another side note with trying to keep warm in the winter in the camper is we do have plenty of nice warm blankets, but we also have lots of extra throw pillows. So what we do, as you probably know if you are an avid camper, and our camper admittedly is 21 years old, so some of the newer campers may be better insulated in the walls, but ours is not. So in order to help with some of the extra draft that kind of comes through those outer walls, we do have extra throw pillows and rolled up blankets that sit between where we lay or sit and where the wall is. And that really helps, stop any draft that's coming through those walls and just help us stay a little toastier and a little warmer inside. Another really important thing that we did was we have an outside water tank hookup. So we have a 300-gallon water tank, and we run a separate water pump to that tank that pushes it through the hose into our camper. So in order to make it through the winter, we had to protect that water pump and the hoses that run into the camper. So we installed heat tape and Reflectix insulation around that, and so far has worked wonderfully. The only fail that we had there, though, is that the 300-gallon water tank itself has frozen on a couple of the times that we've gone below 10 degrees. So when that happens, of course, we can't get water flowing into the camper. And it really hasn't been that much of an inconvenience. We just make sure we stock up on plenty of extra bottled water, and we just use that until the temperature goes up in the day. And then we're more than fine to use the water at that point. So something else that we do want to mention that has been a bit of an inconvenience for us is our gray and black water lines. Right as they're leading out to where they pump out and flow out, where our pull handles are, it's difficult to keep that area warm enough when we do have those really deep freezes to keep that from freezing up. Again, if we were to make it through another winter in this camper, we would put heat tape on that and Reflectix as well to just keep that flowing with no problem. But again, at this point, it's a minor inconvenience. We're making sure that we're watching the weather really well. And before any of those stretches of freezing temperatures, we're just making sure that we empty all the tanks and we're, waiting until it warms up again before we pull them. And we've been fine for the most part. A little side note here as well. We found a wonderful product called Commando, which we use in our black tank mostly, but can also be used in your gray tank. If you are full-time RVing and using the facilities daily, like you would in a house, you need something a little bit extra to push everything through. So Commando has enzymes in it to break everything down and keep everything flowing, and it has worked amazing for us. Where other products we've used have not worked so well, Commando is our number one choice, and we highly recommend it. You can get that on Amazon or Walmart, and this is not a sponsored video. I have not been paid to say any of that. It's just our experience. We really do love it. It's about $10 for 4 pouches, and you're supposed to use one a month, but that would be if you're seasonally camping. We do use a little bit more than that because we're in it every day, but that has worked really great for us as well. So we wanted to go over some of these things with you guys today because we have been getting some questions. If you've watched any of our other videos when we've set up these processes, we've gotten some comments on that of how's it working now? And after you've had it up there for a month or so, is it still what you expected it to be? So that's why we thought we'd come on here and do a little review and a little recap of how those things are working for us in real time. And overall, we've been pretty pleased. If you're interested in any of those things that I've talked about today, make sure you go back through our playlist and pull up the video where we actually set it up and let us know if you have any questions. Also, if you have any of your own tips and hacks of how to make it through these really cold temperatures when you're RVing full-time or camping in these cold temperatures, feel free to leave that in the comments. We'd love to see what you have for us. Now, as promised, we have some really exciting news to share with you all. And again, if you're new to our channel, please like and subscribe because I really think you're going to want to follow what we're doing next. But just again, to recap quickly, we did move out here 7 months ago and we had a totally different plan than where we are today. We've looked into everything from building a modular to having our house built by a contractor to shed to home options to barndominiums. And the hardest part for us is trying to, in this crazy market, make our house build, our dream home, our forever home, fit into our budget. as some of you may be experiencing as well. So we've had to really be flexible and go back to the drawing board many, many times. But I'm happy to announce that here 7 months later, we have just been approved from the bank to go forward with our build. So we're excited to announce to you that we will be doing a barndominium pole barn build. And we will be closing in about 45 days, and we'll be able to start everything after that. So we are so excited. Guys, we want to share with you our inspiration. So we want you to go on to Texas Best Barndominiums and check out the Sadler Barndominium. I'll leave you a little clip here as well as a teaser, but you really need to check out the whole thing. It is amazing. And if you guys don't follow them yet, follow them on YouTube. They do amazing work and really fabulous concepts with these barndominiums. So we were able to contact a local pole barn builder and get the shell within our price range. And then we were subcontracting out some of the parts of the build. We were doing some ourselves, and we're also going to be acting as general contractor. This has not been easy. It has been incredibly time consuming. There's been a lot of planning. There's been a lot of talking to different people to fund things. Some banks won't let you be a GC. Some won't let you do a pole barn build. There's just a lot of different hurdles we've had to jump through to get to this point. But we are beyond excited that we're here and that we're starting this journey. So we've taken this Sadler Barndominium as an inspiration, and we have created our own floor plan from it, and we have designed it the way that we want it to be. But really the windows in the front and how that looked, we fell in love with it. So we took that as a starting point. We drew what would work for us. We've contacted all of our subcontractors and the builder, and we found everything to come within our price range. And as I said, we are super excited. A bit nervous too, but this year is going to be incredible for our family. And there's going to be just so much to share with you guys. So please, please, please like, subscribe, follow, and please share with anybody that you think would also like to follow us in this journey. And we hope that you guys really do join us for this. We love you all. Thank you so much for being along with us for this ride. And again, we're excited for what 2022 is going to bring us, guys. Happy New Year to you all. We'll see you all soon.